how you can turn every so-called loss into a gain, into a win. And just the words win and lose, success and failure, loss and gain, have to do with numbers and letters and words and meanings that we have been taught, indoctrinated, pressured, you might say, to accept and to learn. And that's why spelling is spell casting for a sentence, for a period of time, you see. And this spell casting we're doing on ourselves because each one of us, we have this mind. And somehow this mind is probably some kind of an electronic program of some kind that somehow operates, and what I sense, it diverts the power of that pineal gland and diverts the power of the mind with a hack. Now, a hack means you take something off of its original or its beneficial thing, or what it's trying to do, and you make it do something else. So when people say humanity's bad and it's terrible, like this is a really bad thing, well, no, maybe, yes, humanity now as a definition, humanity now as some kind of a programmed reality consciousness of some kind. Well, I'm human and humans are evil and bad. No, humans are doing this, yes, but you have to look at, we're not human. We're not alien. We're not any of that. In fact, I'll tell you, I saw a huge flying saucer when I was like about 14. Talk about aliens. Huge, it was like the size of the moon, but it's close. And I was with 3 other friends, and this is in Orange County in Irvine near El Toro Marine Base. See, they kind of, and it's huge, and we're all frozen watching it. And it glows like the moon, clear edges, and hums and moves. And we watch it until it went behind a hill. We were just, and the kid there said, the boy, oh, my dad works for the UFO department of the government. He says that's a mothership. Well, the interesting thing is we never talked about it, it was gone from our memory until I started remembering it quite a few years ago. Anyway, so that whole thing of what would you say, knocking ourselves off from center by being who we are. And in fact, people say, well, how can you be happy all the time? Well, you really can. And we say, well, the loss makes me sad. Well, let's take a look at what we think sadness is. And it's so painful that people have to take drugs or something so that they don't feel, or alcohol so they don't feel the pain. And it's a labeling thing. That, of course, when someone that you care about, you've been with, you want to be with, and they leave their body or they move away, that's what they do, move away somewhere else, then yes, you miss that person and you love that person, but why do you call it a loss? Because they were never yours to begin with. And it's all this mine. I was, some people I know had come by the house and they said, oh, your squirrels in the tree. They're not my squirrels. They're not my birds. I had to own it all, you see. So that desire, I got to own things. You got to have them. They're mine. You can't use them because I can make money. I can rent it. It's just all of this stuff. This is not natural to us. That's not who we really are. And that key then is to look at the words loss and gain, win and lose, success and failure. They cause all these emotional responses. And people say, well, I have to feel my dark side. You don't have, it's not dark or light side. You don't have light, dark side. You are beyond light and dark of this realm. You got to get that. And when this is what I teach this more, obviously more in depth for the people that are ready for this and want this, because this knowledge is so vast and so great and so magnificent and so simple, yet you have to be constantly vigilant because you're being jerked around emotionally. Oh, I have to feel really bad or other people will think I don't care. I have to feel really guilty and sad and miserable for blah, 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 because they're sad and miserable. No. See, feelings are natural to us. It's love, compassion, generosity, caring, really. And emotions are, you would call them negative feelings or negative emotions, because they're based on fear, lack, limitation, loss, gain, win, lose, success, fail. So if you take a look at what the news does, if you watch any of that kind of thing, or whatever movies, they want your emotion, just like Super Bowls or rallies, or this is energy. And what you might call the forces that are working against us are actually operating through the mind. And we're then conjuring up these thoughts that are flowing through. That's why everybody has the same issues. People say, when you speak, you're speaking to me. Well, yeah, everybody else too. So the problem is people believe the mind. And the mind is set up as a duality to fight against you, because it's not your friend. So obviously, it's wonderful to cry when you feel the missing of someone, but don't call it pain, because love in separation is even more powerful, more deeply nourishing, you might say, than love in present time. Just like, you're with someone all the time, and then they go away for a whatever vacation or for whatever, and then you miss them so much, and then they come back and or say you're back to business as usual and blah blah. It's not a big deal. But if we look at what the real feelings, oftentimes what we call loss, so many people, it's in the mind. Loss of business, loss of maybe friends, loss of respectability, loss of stuff, whatever, what you work for your whole life. Well, if you worked your whole life for stuff, don't realize you're going to lose it anyway. That's why certain people, they want eternal life in the physical body. Keep replacing body parts and do all this. So But what happens is, you are producing a reality that is based on death and suffering, and it is a continual war and fight that goes on, and that is the mind in the mind, where it goes against your natural knowing. And for me, how you turn a win from a loss is to look at all the value you got, the experiences, maybe lessons you needed to apply if you needed to do that. But also, it shows your attachment, which is fine, but there's nothing wrong with feeling you're missing that person. But what so many people are about is about poor me, feeling sorry for ourselves, pathetic, pitiful, minuscule. And you are what you are. And that's beyond what you think you are. And you want to get beyond the game of win and lose and let yourself feel what you feel. But yet what you realize is fear is not natural to you or to me, because it's not necessary. You need to teach your children that not all people are good, that there are bad people out there that want to hurt or harm a child or anyone or an animal. And you want to let them know these are people to avoid, and this is what they're like, and they need to know this and the tricks. And at the same time, you don't live in fear of what's going on. You're conscious, you're aware, You're in tune with your intuition, your psychic abilities, your beingness, and your humming, you see, in your own being. When my grandpa, great-grandpa, left his body, I was about 7 years old. I cried for years. And I actually think he incarnated as, very special person in my life. Opened me up to so much. It was so great. Yeah, because I missed him. And yeah, a little of it was poor me. Why did he leave me? Because he was so much. But you know what? I take all the good that I got. And when you realize that, they're always with you. And you're always with them. Because we're all one already. And we're all different. So celebrate and turn every loss into a win. Because you transcend winning and losing. Because you already have it all. And we already love each other and work for the welfare of each other and let ourselves feel and